Hello and welcome to episode 32 of the Talking Wednesday podcast on the new time of Tuesdays.
Yep.
Thank you for bearing with us during this, those that did. We don't actually have got a barometer of this. I will say the podcast this week is performing slower. It's still doing well, but it's performing slower than the podcast usually does because I think people aren't fully notified of the move yet, but
yeah,
it'll move over. And also it's a case of we are actually recording this 2 days after the podcast goes live, so it's not a good day to get metrics really.
No.
But that's because yes, this isn't going to be the most topical. There has been news, don't get me wrong.
Breaking news as of today as well.
Yeah, exactly. We don't like doing outdated podcasts. That's the whole reason we've moved the podcast. But it just so happens that I'm away at the weekend and I'm not back Monday night when we usually film the podcast. So if that was the case, we'd try and leave it until after the match, if we could, the Rotherham match. That Rotherham game, though, wasn't it amazing to see Andre Green rip up his transfer and run on the pitch going, actually, no, I'm an owl, and put 4 past Rotherham. It was a hell of a sight to see, really. But, yeah. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, and we'll talk about Andre Green a little bit later on. But how's your week been, mate?
Well, yeah, not bad. Just busy getting things done and just spending time with family while I can.
Is it terminal?
Nah, it's just that Mrs. got time off, and it's the first time in a long time we've had her off at the same time where the child is off nursery as well. So it's nice to actually do things all together. It's a rarity.
No, that's good. That's nice.
Which is nice.
Even though you have been saying to me that your daughter's been driving you mental. And
Not
the
this
shed's
week.
been driving you mental.
That's nearly down. That's nearly done.
Oh, well, everything's coming up Millhouse or Punk. Yeah.
We can tell Dex has only been in the house for about an hour.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying it, man. Like this, so I'm doing. Obviously, I'm working a lot more, but the sort of work that I'm opening up to is I'm taking on a lot more freelance stuff with theatres reopening and things like that. And obviously, I'm a musician. I do quite a bit of MDing. I do quite a lot of stuff. So with stuff opening back up, it's nice to get back into that.
Yeah.
And the long days are tired, but trust me, man, they go quickly. It's fun to get back into what I'm trained for, really, rather than.
So apart from being tired, good week.
Yeah, it has been a good week, and I'm sure by the time you watch this, I've had a good weekend too, hopefully, because going up to see a mate for a few days.
Also, well done on the live stream views and all of you that tuned in for that. They were big numbers for a midday game.
So again, on the Tuesday night, which is possibly a reason the podcast took a little while to find footing, is because a few hours after the podcast went up, I said I just did a live stream. It was a quick match watch along, wasn't it? It was Dexterity Watch, so it was because the Fleetwood Town match was available to watch on iFollow, which was surprising.
Which I think is going to be something that happened during the entire season.
Yeah, I think it is as well, because I've heard that that's only for League One though, apparently. Because League 1 and 2, because I figured it out. I don't know this for fact, right? This is me putting 2 and 2 together, but it's probably the actual reasoning. Sky have got the rights to show the midweek games in the Championship on the red button. Yeah. So why would it's still the EFL, why would they not strike up their own deal and think, well, if you're in those clubs with League 1 and 2, let's put the midweek matches on the match pass, which means I won't do every single match, but it does mean that quite a lot of weeks I'll still be able to do the live streams we were doing last season.
Which will be fantastic because they're always good.
Yeah, and I do still want to go to the occasional Tuesday night match at Hillsborough. So sorry, that will be a thing. But it's a great one, really. It's a great thing to be able to do.
When that live stream ended looking, it was something stupid like 156 views to 150 likes in the end. It was really nice to see that number go, wow, that actually works really well. And I think there was a lot of people who weren't expecting you to go live.
Yeah.
And I think you had a lot of Fleetwood fans, other fans of other clubs to find out who you are and what you're doing.
Well, it was just nice to. I said all last season it was really nice to just be able to talk to on this channel. We get to talk to so many Wednesday fans in different countries or away that don't really get to go to the matches, and I don't mind. Maybe because I can never fully stay away from Hillsborough. You just can't, right? But like, yeah, but it's one of those that I don't mind making more of a me going to the match, especially when I'm working long days. It's sometimes quite nice to come home and have a couple of beers and not have to drive back or worry about my transport, you know. So on those night matches, it's quite nice to think, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go and watch it with the community, you know, these Wednesday fans that can't go there that enjoy having a chat, and it's a different dynamic to it. And I know a lot of some fans that live further away get a lot of stick, and I think the more we normalise that not everybody has to physically be there to be a massive fan all the time, especially if we're all watching it and we're all in the zeitgeist. And I think it helps if someone's on a podcast that's like, well, no, I'm going to actually purposely not go to certain matches so I can spend it with other Owls fans that aren't going. Do you know what I mean? So, but
100%.
But it's very difficult not to go, you know. But there is the climate at the minute that it's probably safer to not go to every match at the minute. In fairness, so just be a bit careful
with what's going on. I pray that everything stays open, everything keeps going, but I can't see it in a sense. But I understand if it does, like they just go, we'll just do it and just see what happens, if you know what I mean, in the climate. If what they want, you're just going to make the right decision for yourself and just be wary that there are going to be people who are going to go to games no matter what.
Yeah, we said this on stream as well. Like, look, whatever your views are, you're entitled to your own opinion, and I'm not gonna start on mine. But like, just stay safe and look after yourselves. And as Punk just said, people will do their best to get into games, because some people will value that above other people's health, and they'll go, "Oh, no, I'm all right," and that's how it starts. So
we all saw it after tramlines. So
we all saw it after the first match of the season. Well, we did because we know Wednesday fans. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's nice to be back. It's nice to have football back. It's nice to be able to talk about it. And let's talk about that Fleetwood Town game. So, as the Wednesday tradition dictates, what did you think about that Fleetwood match?
I thought first 20 minutes we looked really exciting and looked like we had the bit between our teeth. We looked really good going forward and trying to make things work. And I thought the first goal, Adeniran, he's just so good at just winning that ball and just wanting to. You can tell this is a player that's obviously got the arm around his shoulder from Moore and say, I just want you to play and have fun. Enjoy yourself. And he's doing that already. And Lee Gregory's interview at the end when he talked about it was superb. That's how there's a togetherness in this team I don't think we've seen for a long time in terms of what's going on. But I thought that first 20 minutes were great. We then started to sit back a little bit and let them into it a little bit, which is some of this kind of things we had from last season where we get a goal and then not go for that killer second. I think before half time, they looked the better team, to be fair, because they were making more chances. Second half, they came out with a bit more bit between the teeth, but we tried to get that killer finish, and it's just not quite there yet. But another clean sheet. And defence looks, I don't feel that shaky with that defence now at all. Even when we play it from the back. Bailey Peacock-Farrell, he's so good with his feet. You're not worried like when he gets it, even when they get close to it. And I know people go, oh, but it's only Fleetwood. And that's not fair because Fleetwood actually put up a pretty good game against us. And they made it
boring for quite a while, didn't they? And that's a compliment to them. Yeah. They made it boring because we were kind of like just passing it and controlling possession. And we controlled the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to blow smoke where it doesn't need to be blown. But like, we were controlling the game, but Fleetwood did help pretty much pen us in. I wouldn't say chances, but they penned us in.
They went for that long range thing, didn't they?
Yeah, they penned us in and made sure that we stuck to certain spaces. However, we did break that quite a few times, and I think Lee Gregory could have made it a lot worse for them. Lee Gregory could have had a hat-trick, to be honest.
He looked up for it, didn't he? He looked like he was ready for this game and wanted to show what he can do.
He did.
And the scary thing about this, we've got players who still haven't made their debuts yet, who are still to come in, and we'll talk about that later. And it seems a little bit, as Adeniran said in his first interview, I think it was against Charlton or before that, when he got, I've had a long day. What was the game? Donny,
yeah.
He said, once this starts working, we'll be frightening. And you're hearing that from a player who's saying that, not just fans, a player. And I thought Byers looked great from starting his first one as well. It's like having a mini Bannon on the pitch. Another one. That's actually really bad. A mini Bannon. Bannon's only small as it is, but another one.
Jesus Christ, how short's Byers? Have I been seeing things? But no, he's Banner's been quality as well.
Oh yeah.
Just the reins have been taken off him so much, and he is in more of an advanced position, which is nice to see. You know, I don't see him. He still does run back and do the defending, but he's not always in our half now, which is quite nice.
Did anyone also see the bit of Gil Palmer did on the sideline, where he had it at his feet, put it between his legs, and flicks it behind into a Wednesday player while he was on the floor?
There was some deft touches in that match, wasn't there?
There was
I was saying one touch passing in League One. This is what we've brought right now. You know, genuinely great technique. So yeah,
some of the back heels as well.
Yeah, exactly. So 3 matches played, 2 wins and a draw. Technically promotion form, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
And 3 clean sheets.
I've said it now, but yeah, it could have all changed at Rotherham.
Yes.
It's a tough fixture, probably one of the toughest of the season just because of what goes behind it. We won't be putting anything in this podcast about Rotherham. However, at Talking Wed on Twitter and the at Dexterity Box Instagram, maybe. I might have started posting on the Talking Wednesday Instagram. We'll see. But there will be a match review from the guy in the pink shirt right now. That's Punk Audio, listeners. For Rotherham.
Yep.
Because I'll be drinking a few beers on Saturday, and you'll
be doing what you did on Tuesday, but even more so.
Yes, and not actually at the match, or even potentially watching the match live, because I'm going to be very busy on Saturday. But you will be watching, so you will, after the match, give us our match review for Talking Wednesday content, and thank you for the nice words on those little shorts we've been doing in all those videos. It's nice that you want to keep up with what we've thought of the matches. Let's get into the news section of the Talking Wednesday podcast, and quite a big news story. A new signing as well, really. Andrew Green has not been with us for very long, but he has completed a permanent transfer to Slovak Super League side, SK Slovan Bratislava, for an undisclosed fee. Now, this is from the club website. The 23-year-old joined the Owls in January 2021 on a free transfer and went on to make 15 appearances in total, including 3 during the current campaign. We'd like to thank Andre for his services and wish him well for the future. He's gone for a fee, and we bought him for free.
Hey, we run like a proper football club.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling this is something to do with work rate effort, because Darren Moore said in pre-season he wanted to see more from him and see him just show what he can do, and I don't think he's done that for Darren Moore's liking.
I think it's a disaster. I can't believe we've let this happen. Really.
To be fair, if he
no.
But my thing.
No. Because now the only scapegoat left is Liam Palmer.
Okay, you got a point.
He was becoming the new scapegoat, and I was like,
yeah,
all right, the heat's getting off Liam a little bit here. People are actually starting to realise that Liam can play, you know. And now Andre Green's gone. It's going to be back on. A bad result at Rotherham or a bad result next weekend, and it's all gone. Liam Palmer's, forget the 11 years, mate. People will be up in arms. Carry on.
Also, Wednesday, you might want to redo your marketing. You took here a picture with him in the pink kit. Go find a player who's here and redo that shoot. That's probably not going to be going down well.
Has that gone on the online bit yet?
I think it's in a lot of their promotional stuff.
No. Can you buy it online yet? Because I want it.
I don't know.
At this rate, I'm sending you down to the Megastock. Because you know I don't queue.
I know you don't.
I'm going to send you down and be like, hey. No, but how do you feel? Because obviously you said that you thought it was work rate, ethics, that sort of thing. Work ethic, fair, even.
I kind of like it from more in a sense because it shows him that he got a player that he knows he's not going to get used. He told him if the opportunity comes for a new club to come in for you, go and go for it. And it's nice to see we're not just going, well, you're not going in my plans, so go play with the under-23 for a bit, and then we'll let you go out at the end of your contract. And I think he was on a 2-year contract. So the fact that Morg already noticed that he's not going to be planned, it's smart by Wednesday. Free transfer, bit of money for him, and it'll take him off the wage bill because I can't see him being. Because you got to remember when we signed him, we were still Championship. So I wonder if that might have a little bit to do with it as well. But when you look at what we got, I still think we need another player, but he's obviously not the kind of player Darren Moore wants.
I get you. I do get you. I think it's just a as a lot of people are saying, if he's not here for it, if we've got other options and he ain't going to get game time, sell him for a fee. This is how a football club should run. You know,
very much so.
I'm slightly disappointed because I think he's got a lot of potential, but it was the early stages of a Sheffield Wednesday scapegoat. Yeah. So if he didn't kick on, it was going to be a mess that I couldn't be arsed with. So it's probably best, to be honest.
Yeah. I hope there's a sell-on fee in that as well. In that contract, because
it's 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we still have space for a winger, though. And that's why I agree with what you put in the document here. Will this open the door for Sims? Because we've talked about Sims for a while.
We have.
And we've been linked with Sims quite credibly. That the Darren Moore would like to bring him in, obviously worked with him before. Obviously, if we're talking about work ethic with Andre Green, if that was a thing, that's obviously all alleged. That's just guessing here.
Yeah.
I think on your part there. But let's just say he just didn't fancy him. And if that's the case, you would think he'd fancy Josh Sims because he's worked with him before.
Exactly.
Do you think it'll happen?
I don't know. I still feel like even though he said that there's no more player coming in kind of thing, I'm happy with what I've got. I still feel like there's one player missing and he wants to do a deal. But
I've been out the loop the past day. Did he say that in an interview? Because I know he said earlier that he's happy with his squad if he can't make any more additions. But did he say that he's not bringing anyone in?
He said he's quite settled with the squad. It pretty much sounded like he was saying that I don't really want to bring anyone else in after the game again, Donny.
No, I disagree. If we're talking about the same interview, he said he's open to bringing in a couple more in, but he's doing the thing where if we can't get him over the line, he's up. There will be I reckon there'll still be incomings.
I still think it's a winger and another striker.
I don't know about a striker now, even though I think we probably should for cover. Windass coming back, and then you've got Gregory. You've got two strikers that are going to be vying for top spot there.
Then you've got Theo, who can play in that role of well.
Exactly. We've also brought Canberry. We've played him there twice.
Wonder if it's another winger
then. Green played wing back, didn't he? Do you bring in another wing back?
Maybe.
Because Green was obviously a midfielder, but last season he did play a bit of wing back. Or is it a centre? No, we brought in cover for centre back.
We've got Lewis.
It's got to be it's got to be a fullback.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's very weird.
Maybe he isn't bringing anyone in because we're actually looking at the side and going, actually, I can believe it. But yeah,
it's weird having that. It's weird having that whole thing, looking at a squad and going, what do we actually need now? Because this looks like an actually fully strength squad. What do we need?
It's very strange. I'm not sure I'm fully down with it yet.
Oh,
I'm sort of in that stage where I'm like, I can't truly allow myself to feel again because I'm afraid of getting hurt. Right. So Hutch picked up an injury. We're going to breeze through some of these. Hutch picked up an injury. We don't really know. Apparently it was Achilles. Was it? Oh, yeah.
don't know if it was calf or ankle.
So he said he was just talking about him tightening up and things like that. He shouldn't be out too long, hopefully.
No.
That's Moore's hopes.
Also,
Josh-
I called that one on last podcast. I apologize.
Yeah, you got a bit of grief for that.
Did I?
Yeah. The actually today, obviously you haven't checked the comments today, but there's been a bit of that today going, you've done it now. You've done it now for saying he's not picked up any injuries. Josh Windass is hoping to be back at the end of October. He tweeted in a reply to someone, are you back for next game? He was like, end of October, hopefully, with the fingers crossed. So that'll be great to bring Windass back in. Now, as I said, we're kind of doing this one here. No community tab this week. We will bring it back. Apologies again. Like, it was just a case of when we decided on our record date, it was our record time. It was just too much of a turnaround to get the community's thoughts this week properly. But thank you for joining our Discord. And I will say the Discord link is in the community tab.
Yes.
It's still got some uses left on it. So if you're not already in it, jump in it. And thank you to the loads of people that have joined this week. Actually, it's getting bigger. Yeah. But this episode is mainly going to be focused around our summer transfer window because we did say we'd do an episode where we took quite a deep dive into all the players that Wednesday have signed and the players, not the players we've got rid of, actually. We don't need to talk about the players we've got rid of. Let's talk about the incomings.
I think the only thing we need to know about the departures, it's something stupid like 15 million worth of players left.
Mm-hmm.
And that just shows you how badly we run at that point. We're starting to run like a proper football club, which is nice.
One of them went to West Brom, and I think West Brom did all right the other night, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember what
I can't place it. No, nor can I. So the first player that we've got on this list is Jaden Brown. So we're going to do this like we do the match reviews. I'm going to hand over to you what your thoughts are, and then we'll bounce it off each other. So Jaden Brown, 22 years old. We signed him on a free transfer from, he used to play for Huddersfield Town, obviously a free agent. What did you think? What do you think of him so far? What do you think to this bit of business, Punk?
So far, he's looking really good. He seems to be playing him more as a winger at the moment than as like that wing back role kind of thing, left back. But he looks really solid. And this is not a bit of business. 22, nothing to lose on it. Free agent. Moore's obviously looked into him. And so far, it looks really positive, fitting really well. And this one came out the blue. When we announced this, we were all like, who? No, it was on nobody's radar. And the fact that he waited for our situation with the embargo to come in says a lot about the player.
I did actually know who he was, but I didn't know I was surprised to see us pick him up. Yeah. Carry on.
I thought it was a smart bit of business, and it made you think about our recruitment a little bit and how we were doing it, because you were starting to think maybe, just maybe, are we doing a very youthful side, which we've all been calling for ages.
Yep. And now, as you hand back over to me, I'm going to tell you for each one of these players, so see you half of the podcast listeners right now, I'm going to tell you something in depth about them as we do this, just to keep podcast and Dexterity Box tradition. I'm going to talk about their latest FIFA rating so we can get an idea of what we might be faced with when we get FIFA 22 in a few months. So this isn't the card that they get at the start of the year. This is what they got at the end of the season.
Aha.
Right? So I'm giving you the depth.
If you're planning your squads now, start.
This is the one. And that's what it's all about. You know, you might not like FIFA. I know a lot of people who like football like FIFA. So he's 65 on, so I'm looking at FIFA. So he's 65 overall. And he's got a potential of 75. So that's not bad. That's not bad because that actually means his potential's like 78, 79, maybe 80. So Jaden Brown will be probably nerfed a little bit, but I reckon he could probably be sort of like a 64. That'd be my prediction for next FIFA. And in terms of real world, I think it's great. I don't think he gets in front of Palmer, but however, he does get in front of Palmer because he's playing in front of Palmer. So he's being deployed as a left midfielder. So, it doesn't get in front of him as a fullback, but on the pitch he actually does when he's played as a left midfielder. And I think that works.
To be fair, they're linking well.
The overlaps, I really like it when fullbacks can overlap correctly, and they seem to be getting on the same page. Good to see. So that was Jaden Brown. Next up, it's Marvin Johnson. Your thoughts on Marvin Johnson, Punk?
I thought he was going to stay at Middlesbrough at the end of the season. I really thought this was a shot that they didn't give him a new deal. I thought he did enough there. Experienced winger, at the time we were crying out for another winger because of the whole Shadeepo situation. I can't see him being a player that'll be in all the time, but what I noticed with this whole recruitment is about rotation. The more rotation we've got with how many games we're going to have, it's going to be important. And he's an experienced winger. So far, what I've seen, I like. Sometimes can get a bit knocked off the ball a little bit too much, but I think that's just early days of him coming into the squad and he's not been in fully properly. And it could take time to gel, but I thought this might be another free transfer. And
his market value was about $1 million as well.
Yeah.
So
it goes back to this whole pulling power of Darren Moore, because we keep hearing about this magical man that is Darren Moore that gets on a conversation with him. 2 conversations later, it's like, right, I want to go play for this man. And I want to go play for the club. It's just, I'm not wanting to get carried away, but I'm getting really old school Gary Megson vibes when he was recruiting players and telling them how to come in. And I don't want to go that far because that was a great season.
Yeah, but Gary Megson didn't get us up.
No. He didn't.
I'm hurting half the fan base with that.
But he did
put a lot of the building blocks in place.
He brought Reader, he brought Samido, he brought Cog. He got the players who actually got us there.
No, I do. And I don't think he should have been sacked, in my opinion. No. But if the sacking was a masterstroke from Milan at the time, or as we look at it, because if you look at it, the run we went on under Dave Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, I hated Dave Jones when we got to the Championship.
That football. The only thing
and
that
I would have loved Megson back, and I think Megson's a dude. But like, I think it was actually a good bit of ownership at the time because he saw he wanted Wednesday to get promoted, and
he gave me final sing-song with Sheffield United. So
yeah, he technically made sure they stayed in the pub league for quite a while as well with that match. If you think about the way things go, because those points helped us pit them to promotion.
Yeah, it did.
So, yeah.
You can't be too mad at Dave Jones. He did bring you Adeniran. He was an Adeniran was a Dave Jones signing.
Is it that long ago?
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
He was on trial at Palace, and the trial at Palace didn't work, and then we got him.
Wow. Right. Okay. Marvin Johnson then. I think I want to see a lot more of him. I think it was an astute bit of business though. Delving into his FIFA, he's 69, very nice. So he's obviously got no potential because he's going to be 30 in December. But here's the thing. He can play left mid and left wing back. So he's got 88 acceleration. 82 sprint speed. So his acceleration, his sprint speed underpins his acceleration, but you're looking at someone fast for a Wednesday side. For your first season in League One, he's going to be absolutely boss if you use him. And hopefully that is the case. So the next one up is a loan, this one. We'll go to one of the loans. This is Lewis Gibson, the centre-back we've brought in from Everton. 21 years old. Highly rated to have a decent future.
Yeah.
Let's see what
we've not seen much of him yet, really, to know what he's like. But from what I've heard, he had a great spell at Reading, he had a great spell at Fleetwood, so he already knows League One, which is an advantage. Having someone that's already been in League One, know what he's doing, is really good. I think this is going to be the whole rotation situation where we need to rest players and bring players in. Also, it might be a case that he comes in and he stakes a claim for the shirt. You don't know. It's always good to have good competition, but what I've heard from my mates who are Everton fans, they highly, highly rate him, and it's one of those ones that it's going to be win or bust for him. Have a good loan spell, you might get into the Everton squad. Don't have a good loan spell, you might get into a mid-tier championship squad next season as your full-time squad kind of thing. Because he's at that age where he needs to start showing and playing games fully.
I'd like to see a lot more of him. I'd like to see anything of him, to be honest.
Yes. Might do it Rotherham if Hutch is in.
Yeah, that might have happened. That might have happened by the time you watch this. But I think Dunkley's getting the nod. But then again, Dunkley came on for Hutch. So if they decide to sub a centre-back on, we might see Gibson. We'll see. Not too much to add on Lewis Gibson, really, in terms of real life. But obviously, real life, what does real life matter? It's all about the fantasy. And the fantasy is FIFA. So, is he 19 or 21? Because FIFA's got him as 19, and the market thing we're using.
Market has got him as
21.
I'm sure he's 21.
But then again, are we going with EA or are we going with football markets? Anyway, he's a 60 overall, but he's got 76
21.
potential. He is 21, so FIFA are wrong. He's got 76 potential. I reckon he'll probably be about a 61 on FIFA, and he's not really worth. Was he at Reading?
Yep.
Last season. Yeah, of course he
13
was.
appearances.
Yeah. I knew that as soon as it came out my mouth. Yeah, he in a virtual sense, unless you actually activate a purchase fee on him, it's not worth it.
Oh, that could be interesting.
What?
His older brother played for Morecambe.
Interesting, and that's
that could be interesting.
Match. See if they line up against each other. I don't think he'll do that. I just
thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and what was interesting is when Sheffield Wednesday decided to bring another former player back to Sheffield Wednesday, and this time it was Jack Hunt, who is now 30 years old, still retaining a market value of just under 1.5 million, which is just over $1 million. Sorry, not too bad. Got released from Bristol City, which were the club Sheffield Wednesday sold him to. So we sold him, made a couple of million, then got him back for free. So
the League One is just a great player, isn't he? When you think about it, I know that we both would rather see Palmer in that position, but I thought against Fleetwood, we saw what we know from Jack Hunt, which is getting forward, getting crosses in. My only problem with Jack Hunt is defending ability can sometimes be lackluster.
Yeah,
but
and that was fine that's fine when he used to have blistering pace to get back. He's still quite fast. I'm not saying he's ready for the slippers by any means, but he ain't as fast as he was, and obviously that.
I also did a lot of covering in that game for him.
Yeah, he did.
But I thought this was a smart little signing. We already know about him. We know what he can do. Yes, he's lost that bit of speed, but he got a good cross on him, and when he gets going with crosses, he's decent. And if he can keep it going, I don't think he was ever that unfit either. He was always somebody that had quite a good record of fitness. So
no, and we're not saying he's got slow. By the way, we're just saying he's not as rapid as he was because you can still see he still makes some charging runs and that. The problem is back in the day, he'd make those charging runs. When he lost the ball, he could run back a lot faster. Now, obviously, the fitness is a part, and he's running. That's why Iorfa had to slip in and cover. But the great thing is Iorfa's rapid, and he's tall, and he's powerful. Yeah. So basically, please stay Iorfa. We really want you to stay.
He's the next one who needs that contract shoving in front of his face and go, sign, please. What do you want? There you go.
If that happens, that will be us really meaning business, right? Because he is the player that could go.
Yeah.
And could quite easily do all right somewhere else. So, yeah.
1 year deal with a 1 year extra if we go up, I reckon. Good bit of business.
Very good bit of business. And on the FIFA side, he's 70 overall. I reckon he'll be about 68 next season. I reckon he'll get nerfed. He'll get nerfed a bit. They'll bring his speed. His acceleration 77, sprint speed 75. Reckon they'll nerf that a little bit too, because that's usually how they bring the stats down. But
also, so far, spent 0.
Yep, absolute 0. So the next one is a little bit of an absolute masterstroke, in my opinion. And it's Dennis Adeniran, who was an Everton youngster that came to us on a free. What do you think about this,
I don't know how we got this deal. I really don't know what Darren Moore said to get this deal over the line. But my God, he's turning into a good player. And a player that just wants to play. He doesn't stop smiling, bless him. He just seems like he's happy to be playing. And his interviews have been interesting, saying that he was unhappy at Everton. He wanted a change. He wanted to do some. Darren Moore picked up phone, gone, come here, and he just slotted in straight away. In that midfield, he doesn't look out of place. Next to Bannon and that, it fits, it works. How Massimo Longo gets in this squad, I have no idea.
Well, he ain't.
No. He's not going to at this moment in time unless we have to start resting people. The touch for the goal for Lee Gregory was superb. That just like flick and then gone.
Thought you'd gone to Boston then. But yeah, no, in the Fleetwood match, yeah. Well, he took the shot himself. He had the confidence to shoot himself. As someone who's meant to be a central defensive midfielder, that is not a central defensive midfielder. No.
He got tricks as well. Yeah. Some of these little tricks and turns and flicks. You put Bannon and Wing in that connection. We're turning into quite a flary team.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice. It's
I'm intrigued to see what he carded actually.
Okay, we'll take it to that side. So obviously he was with Wickham last season, and Wickham didn't want to get rid of him because they thought he was good for them. He's 63 at the end of the season on FIFA. He had at one point 64, I think.
Right.
He rotated a little bit depending on form. He's got 72 potential, which is not bad actually. Because it means I don't think they're really going to upgrade him. They might even downgrade him, but I hope they keep him at 63 and have a look at him because, to be honest, Adeniran should be at least 65 on there. Now, looking at his form, he should be like 67.
I don't know how he didn't make team of the week. Lee Gregory got in. For me, Adeniran should have got in as well.
Has he not got in team of the week?
No. Not by the EFL. He should be.
He's not in foot, is he? I don't think I can find it. I don't think he was originally in foot. He might have been at some point, but yeah. Moving on from that man to Silico, which we don't really know too much about.
Anything. He's in. He's ours.
Yeah. Wow, that was great. That was I'll give you your journalism award now, mate.
He's ours. Did quite well in Holland, but a lot of people saw his scoring record because he's one of these one play. It says left wing, but a lot of the time he plays up front. And a lot of people went, "Oh, look at his scoring record. It's not brilliant. It's not great." I can see this team going a lot from midfield and then the strikers doing the job, but getting a lot of goals in midfield as well. Again, we haven't seen anything of him yet. Hopefully that'll be the next couple of games, because I think we need to do some rotation soon anyway. So the exciting thing, we've got players we haven't seen play yet. And this is the thing that if these turn out to be really good players, and so far, every single player we've brought in, we trusted Moore 100%. And it does look like Moore been able to not have someone in his way and go, these are the players I want. Let's see what we can do. But it's every time. It's like I spoke to the gaffer twice and yeah, I wanted to come.
Yeah. I think we needed wingers, and if he can play up front, it's given us more of that attacking option. Virtually 66 overall. 70 potential. He is 25. Oh, hiccups. The hiccups made it onto the podcast. I've had a lovely chicken jalfrezi.
Oh,
but
nice.
it's causing hiccups with. I don't know why, but it is. And maybe this is death. So yeah, 76 acceleration, not too slow. He's not a very good player. Yeah, exactly. I died doing what I love talking about.
Is he not a
Sheffield
good
Wednesday
player
football.
on FIFA then? Or in general, is what you're saying?
I don't. Right, his overall rating is not bad, but I'm looking at his stats and they are poor. Like, he's got acceleration, but his balance isn't great. His strength is all right. 68, it's not brilliant.
Wasn't this the player you said you signed before?
Yeah. No, I didn't sign him. I got him in a pack in one of my first packs.
Ah, right.
This
one came out the blue as well.
Yeah, so this next one, Bailey Peacock-Farrell. After we'd linked us with Josh
signing of the window for us. He looks solid. He can play with his feet. He doesn't flap. He doesn't look like the keeper when he was at Leeds all those times, because he had a bit of a mistake in him back there.
What are you doing at Leeds?
He was in the league team, so you saw him in highlights and stuff, and there was a lot of league games where he made mistakes.
Are we finding something out now?
I won't go near Leeds. I need a bath.
I go to Leeds a lot. Unfortunately, I go past that stadium quite a lot as well.
Oh dear.
Carry on.
But this was, we were all like, this ain't going to go through. He's too good to come down to League One. He'll go to Championship club. And it popped up and you're like, okay, now we're talking. Let's go. Let's see what we can do. Because that was the signing. You knew something special was starting to happen. Because we managed to get a player of equality in to go down not one league, but 2 leagues below what he is. Granted, he hasn't played much at Burnley yet, but I still think that he's going to. He's so far looking really solid at the back. Yeah. He's commanding that back line. He doesn't seem to flap. He made some good saves so far as well.
Yeah. I'd just like to apologise to the people of Leeds that aren't Leeds fans. That Leeds, he was making a dirty Leeds reference, but I do actually quite like Leeds as a city.
I like Leeds as a city.
So nice. let's not completely slander. But yeah,
it's nothing to do with Leeds the place.
It was a dirty Leeds joke, but people on the internet are idiots. So yeah, I think he'll be solid. We've obviously shipped off Cameron Dawson to Exeter and brought this man in.
I think he got a clean sheet as well.
He's 6'4" as well. He's tall as me.
Huge. Oh. When we meet, when we do a picture, I'm like 5'7", so that could be hilarious.
Are you 5'7"? That's what I realised, like, because we've not met in person.
I'm tiny.
Like, I'll be like, I might walk past you. Unless you got your was I going to say? Yeah.
Mohawk?
Mohican,
yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I've not said Mohican since David Beckham had a Mohican. When I was 10, but my entire brain's just gone, phoom.
You now say Mohican, it's sounding wrong.
Yeah, it is. It's interfering with my brain. Right. This is a great one on FIFA, and I'm sure you've tested this if you've tested the team like me. He's 72 overall, which is a few marks off Westwood at 23. I always buy him straight away, so I always do the activate purchase thing and go in and buy him for a couple of mil. 79 potential. But he's an 82 rated keeper in one of my Wednesday careers. He is cracking.
If you get promoted that first season League One, go buy him.
No, buy him before that, because he's already 72 overall, and you've got him in League One. He's the best keeper in League One. He is alone, but if you've not played much of this FIFA, you can approach to buy while you've got him. You can, Yeah.
Some of the career mode stuff like that does work, and sometimes it doesn't.
That is true. That's very broken, but what do we expect? Right. Next up, Shadeepo. Another free transfer. Loan. Sorry, not a free transfer.
Look good from what we saw in the Carabao. Looked decent, but we didn't see that much because he got injured. But he had an excellent run with Oxford to get
Good to see into the paint trophy.
What?
Nothing. Crap! I think I've put this microphone through to to our call as well. I thought this was just the podcast microphone. I was saying it quietly.
No.
But it wasn't. Damn it. Carry on.
But he had a great run to the playoff with Oxford, and he was a lot of it down to him. He looked decent, and I heard that this deal was off. We weren't going to get him. We couldn't get this deal to go due to whatever reason at the time. One of my people I spoke to said, not happening. It's dead. Don't even bother. Start doing your research for it. It ain't going to happen. And then it happened. They went, and the person got back and went, well, that was unexpected. Okay. Again, it's the Darren Moore effect.
Yeah. It's like the butterfly effect, but real. No, it is real. What am I chatting? I was going to say powerful, more powerful, but
it's been a long day for you.
I'm really sorry. I am legitimately sorry.
We realised he can't do morning, he can't do after work. He's in the middle when he comes to doing his podcasting.
No, what I need is another pandemic, so I'm at home. No, I don't. We don't need it. We don't need that. We've got 63 overall for Shadeepo, 71 potential. He looks better at 63 overall, but it's his stats. His movement stats are His movement stats are cracking. He's got 82 sprint speed, 80 acceleration, 89 agility, and 79 balance. Right, that is good for an attacking winger. There,
great loan from QPR as well.
Yeah. So if you're preparing your FIFA team, he'll be one that you want to actually put in there.
Also, talking QPR, all the people who were waxing lyrical about Moses when he got that goal about Manchester United, wasn't that great with that penalty he gave away? Free kick. We've seen a lot of that when he was with us.
I've also never heard you use the phrase waxing lyrical. I didn't even think that was in your vocab, Jake. And you said it so clearly as well.
All I remember was it popped up on my timeline on Twitter and everyone go, look what we let go, look what we let go. And QPR fan go, he's great, he's amazing. And then that happened. I saw the timeline go, yeah, we told you. 1 every 50.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pile stuff onto former players, but we did tell them. Next one is a loan. It is a loan. I
don't know how we've done this one either.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this is a loan, because this is a loan that I think a lot of people are going to fall in love with. And it's Lewis Wing from Borough?
Yeah, Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
He's come on. But the interesting one with this loan is he actually asked to come on loan to Wednesday. He actually went to Warnock and said, I want to go on loan to Wednesday. I want this loan to happen. He signed an extension at Middlesbrough, which was a bit annoying because we were all hoping that he was going to be on loan. Then we could get him in on free at the end.
Yeah.
He has looked so good already. And because we got the Rotherham match coming up on Saturday, he's been doing the press stuff.
I tell you what, though, some of the I've not listened to it in a little while. But I was driving home and I had Radio Sheffield on and I was listening to Football Heaven. And people were saying that they were impressed in the cup match, but they need to see more. They're not that impressed with him. They want to see more from him.
What?
Apparently. Maybe we're not the defining voice on this. Maybe there's alternate opinions. But when I've seen Lewis Wing, I think he looks quality.
I think he looks a quality.
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
Nor do I. Maybe I caught the wrong end of a conversation, and maybe it was the tiredness getting to me. But
quality.
I can see why Rotherham fans were crying their eyes out.
Yeah. He had been called a Judas, and what he actually said in his interview was to the Rotherham newspaper was literally, it went like lines. I haven't been in a stadium with Rotherham fans in it, and now going to be playing for the opposition.
A Judas.
That's going to be interesting. To be fair, all I will say, put him on free kicks
and corners.
To be fair, he did take a corner against Fleetwood, and it wasn't that great.
No,
but
true.
I'd rather put him on free kicks than Bannon. Like Bannon, but I'd like to try something a bit different.
I'd like to score from free kicks, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. 70 overall on FIFA.
Oh.
And 74 potential. So quite solid. Probably get a little bit of a nerf just because he's come down to League One. Although, if he doesn't, we've got a hell of a team. His stats aren't... I will say, though, I've used Lewis Wing as a winger as well. And he's not the fastest, but he's been fine for me in a League One team. So, let's move on.
Just under 180 transfer market they've got him as?
They've got him as, just under 1.8 mil. So,
Yeah. Not bad.
No. Well, it's not a transfer, so that's why I didn't mention that, because it's not like we've got value into the club. So, next up, it's Florian Canberry.
He's looked pretty solid since he's come in. He got good technical ability, got good feet. Now, Moore said he wants to play with more as a 10, so like a shadow striker.
My mind's not made up on this kid, I'm not going to lie, Punk. I've got a bit of a different opinion because I'm watching him.
So far from what I've seen, the bits that look good, but there's nothing there that showed me what he's going to do next.
Mm-hmm.
If he's meant to be a striker, I don't see it. He's got good flicks and turns and can hold the ball up well. But then again, I think he will work better with someone at the side of him. And we haven't done that yet. And I don't think we're going to play with two up top.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as someone who's necessarily great with their back to goal.
No. He has
So
one free
far.
kick, though.
However, there's plenty of the season, and there's plenty of time for him to find his feet. We're trying to judge the transfer window business, and as a piece of business, this is great. It's a position we needed to fill. It's a loan, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It's a loan in a position we needed to fill. He is wanting to make a name for himself, so hopefully we will see the best from him and he can start scoring some goals. Yet to find his shooting boots for Wednesday, but that could all change. 68 overall on FIFA, 71 potential. So, again, not amazing. Finishing 65 for a striker. So, yeah. George Byers. Hang on. Is he a loan or...
No, we bought Byers.
We bought Byers, didn't we?
Yes. Byers is actually out.
I forgot then, yeah.
I think they got a 15 or 20% sell-on fee in it.
Yeah, he's a free... We didn't buy him, by the way. He's ours, but he's a free transfer even though he was under contract. We've bought him with a sell-on.
It depends who you talk to, because places put him down as...
Probably not Wednesday's accounts department.
Don't start that. I had enough of talking about accounts last season. No, don't start that early now.
Carry on.
Some places say an undisclosed fee. But I'm wondering, I wonder if that's the sell-on bit. Maybe.
I mean, it can be undisclosed if it's nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. This was a good bit of business. I thought this deal was dead. I was also concerned that Bannon would go in the other way at one point. As I said earlier, it's like having a mini Barry Bannon just behind him at the minute, and it works really well. He slotted in quite well already. The thing that I liked was he first took to make that goal for Bannon, to just see that vision. It's good that you got someone who can take that off Barry Bannon a little bit more and go forward. And at the minute, he's sitting further back to let Barry go forward. But there's going to be games where we're going to rest Bannon for a bit. And I think this is a smart bit of business. He's only 25, so I think he's about the same age we got Bannon at from Palace for free. He's similar stature to Bannon. They play similar positions, but I seriously think this is going for the future, knowing that Barry Bannon 31, 32, and we need something. If you have someone who can learn what Barry's done already and then mould him into the next one, I think that works quite well.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I think it's a great bit of business. It looks cracking. It's another player that's worth about $1 million added to our club value, appreciation, that sort of thing. So, appreciation is not the correct word. Just ignore I said that. You'll have to bear with me tonight. My brain is you see on podcasts, you have to process things as they're coming out of your mouth. So if you're not firing on all cylinders, it shows. So he's 66 overall on SoFIFA with 72 potential. He looks... He's not very good on FIFA. I've used him. Unfortunately.
That's a shame. I think the only issue I've got with him, he does have an injury-prone record in his real-life career. So hopefully, touch wood, touch everything. I'm not going down that route again.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't do that to any more of our players, yeah?
Yep.
I can't find Corbinu.
I don't think he's on.
No, he is. I've got him. Oh, God. Right. What do you think to...
What was that?
I'll tell you in a minute. You first of all, you tell me what you think to Theo Corbinu.
We haven't seen much from him yet at all. If anything, he's had an illness and he's just had antibiotics sorted. And hopefully back in training, he's all fine. Cracking bit of business. What?
Did we get told the details of that? Or did...
Yeah, that got put out today.
Right. You can tell I've been busy. I was just like, are you his pharmacist now? Carry on.
Yes, I knock on his door and go, drugs?
I wouldn't admit to being a pharmacist.
No.
No, carry on.
Anyway, he looks quality. From what people have said at Wolves, he's one for the future. He's a very, very talented young lad who got the ability. And I think if one of those players, you'll see him go out on loan to us, go back, possibly go on loan again to a championship club, and then get in the Wolves first team. He has already been in the Wolves first team. I think he was in a game against Arsenal and did very well. He's a cracking
Then again,
player.
so does everybody at the minute.
Yeah, let's not put any more misery on Arsenal fans. I don't think they deserve it. As much as I like to, I don't think it's fair.
Neither were the cup finals, but carry on.
No, true. 19 years old. He got bags of potential. We haven't seen anything of him yet. A mate of mine who's a Wolves fan has said he does have a little bit of a tendency to be a bit of a greedy ball hog who sometimes doesn't like to pass the ball when there's a pass. We've seen what Darren Moore's done to people who've done that in the past. Got it out of the system. And yeah, I think this is a cracking player. So go on then. What got you? Let's hear what this is, because you got very excited on this one.
He's 57 overall.
Right.
That wasn't excitement, that was despair. He's 57 overall, mate. He's got 74 potential, but you're not going to use him. There's no point. He could get an upgrade, but it wouldn't be amazing.
So he's your rotation player then?
No, is he X? 57 don't get into this team. And he's on a loan, so there's no point.
So the first thing you're going to do is cancel that loan?
Probably not, because he's probably on about like $1,000 a week. So just make up the numbers. No. I think there's quite a bit of excitement around this lad. So I'm quite excited in real life to see how he kicks on and if it can be his breakout season. We've not really seen much of him yet.
No.
Have we seen any of him?
Nothing.
If we have, that's how memorable. That's how much it's stuck in my memory.
I don't think he plays yet. I actually don't think he played at all.
I know we've had a lot of these players on the bench. I just can't remember if they actually got minutes. But
no, 0 appearances. He didn't play yet.
No, he was on the bench. He has actually got a face scan though in FIFA, by the way, if you're interested. They've for a 57 rated.
Well, at least if you want those players who like.
So's George Byers. So has Peacock-Farrell. There's actually quite a lot of League One players next season.
Will Gibson have one?
Yeah, all the Premier League players, even the younger ones, have got him. Because football doesn't exist outside the Premier League.
Would Canberry technically when he was at Rangers?
Possibly. I mean, they do get to the Champions League knockouts, don't they? So
Yeah.
they would be classed as, they'd probably be in UEFA's database. So we'll see. And actually, European competition, you have to name homegrown players quite often.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
So who are you saying? That won't be Canberry then, will it?
No.
No.
I apologise.
Canberry, that good old Scott. Carry on.
It wasn't against Arsenal, it was against Tottenham.
Oh, just the complete opposite then.
Yeah.
Lee Gregory. Sheffield Wednesday, obviously we were linked with him and we signed him and we talked about him ages ago and then he came back up and we actually bloody signed him.
It's amazing how many players we spoke about and suddenly they popped up and gone, yep. It doesn't do your head any good, does it?
But I didn't say anything. No, I'm not.
It's a cracking bit of business. It's a cracking bit of business, really. His best scoring record, I think, was actually in League One. He's a very talented player. He's just a bustling forward. He should have had a second against Fleetwood. That stop and turn to try and just disguise it. He should have had two.
Yeah, he should have had two.
But first, to get his first goal, it's cracking. You know where the goal is. His experience for this league, the hustler and a bustler, he'll get forward. He's already shown what he can do and how he's playing. And he does work well with being that one up top. The thing is, I'd be interested to see what formation Moore plays when he got a Josh Windass fit with these.
Yeah. It'd be interesting because you've got to... I reckon he could rotate them, though. I don't think he'll play them together because he'll keep them pushing each other. That's probably a clever move.
To be fair, if you look at all these signings, they're all pushing each other. They're all in position. It is that whole 2 for each position, isn't it? But I think Lee Gregory, I believe it is a 2-year deal.
Quite liked him bashing the Wednesday band when he scored.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Yeah. Also, I did like him when Bannon scored running up to their keeper and getting right in their face.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that kind of shithousery in playing. Yeah, I do like it a lot.
I get it. I
Sheffield lad of well. Sheffield lad of well. And it just
and you can be forgiven for having making bad mistakes in your youth, surely. And we can forgive him for that. So 68 overall on FIFA. It's going to be solid for you if you want him for a season. Will much more likely help us in real life. Actually, in League One, though, on FIFA, he won't be too bad. He's got 79 strength, and that's helpful when you're pushing back against fullbacks, especially with the game changers that are coming in. And he's not the slowest. He's in the 60s, like the higher 60s for his speed.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with players in FIFA with the new double tap sprint button you can do.
Yeah, he's one of our best penalty takers as well. So,
that's good because I don't go penalties very well on FIFA 22 or FIFA 21.
I'm not very good at penalties.
I hate their penalty system.
And that's it. That's it for the players we've brought in.
That's a good transfer business for us. And
it's a good window.
I still think we're maybe 1 or 2. I like to do it that on transfer deadline day we can turn around and say there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Because I do like having a transfer deadline day, but it's the first season in a long time we've got all our business done early doors and got them settled straight away. I think there've been times in the past where we've done our business too late and that it's only gelled around about November, December time, where 9 times out of 10 it's way too late.
Yeah.
This time we gelled right at the right point. Out of all the teams that have brought players in, so far we look like the team that looked the most competitive and gelled.
Do you know why? Because he's brought a balance in. He's brought a balance in all under the same philosophy. I predicted Ipswich to do quite well, and they might eventually gel and do that. But they brought a load of players in, and they brought really good players in, but they didn't seem to fit a system or an ideology. The players that have come in under Darren Moore are so far buying that ideology,
Well, every time
and they're all for one cause.
Yeah. Well, every time he spoke to me, a player said, he told me what the formation is, he knows where he wants me to be and how he wants to play. There's a purpose to what you want to do. And I don't think we've had that in a long time. And we're seeing something what we haven't seen in a long time, an identity in the club. And players who find, and this is no disrespect for players who were here in the past, but for a long time, you felt like some of the players just weren't caring and they were just there for the cash. These players have got smiles on the face, and the thing I got is I want to know how this team does when the first defeat does happen, because that'll show you bounce back ability. But while we're winning, I don't care.
Yeah, but we obviously don't know what happened on Saturday.
Yeah.
So there's that looming over our heads. But yeah, it's good to talk about the transfers.
Yeah.
I did not think this episode was going to be this long.
No, I didn't. I thought it was going to be quite short. We've done quite well.
Yeah. No, it's nice. It's almost as if you and me get in front of microphones and we can just bloody talk. And that's probably the good basis for a podcast, really. But yeah, that's it for this week's episode of the Talking Wednesday podcast. We will try, if there's ever any scheduling issues, we ain't gonna do you dirty. We ain't gonna let you miss a podcast. So please repay us by liking the video, because that helps us massively. And you
leave reviews.
Yeah, leave reviews on the audio services if you can. And I've had a few people in my DMs say, how do I leave a review on Spotify? I don't know.
I don't think you can leave reviews on Spotify.
I don't think you can unless you're one of the verified, like, big Spotify accounts, which we're not. So please go on the other apps, like Podchaser, like
Apple
Podcasts, where you can leave reviews and leave them there for us.
Yeah, it'd be handy. It does help. And thing is, we put this together pretty last minute, really.
Oh yeah, let's just admit all our unprofessionalism, Jake. Yeah, thank you.
But what I'm saying is, we put it together last minute because we didn't want to leave no podcast out. We wanted to have something out, and we got to the point where we're getting really good at putting things together quickly. And we do want to do a community special soon, but it's all about timing and getting people right. And at the end of the day, as you said, Dex is already overworked in his day job. I don't want to put any more pressure on him from his day job to the podcast. That's not fair. He deserves to have a weekend because he puts a hell of a lot of effort into the editing. He's got to edit my mistakes and giggle at me not saying things right. So that's a job in itself.
Well, yeah, I don't care, mate. I enjoy this. I enjoy talking to you guys. Yeah. Life was, weirdly enough, life was easier with scheduling in a pandemic to do more creative and passion projects like this, you know. But that ain't the real world for myself at the minute, for yourself at the minute. We got to graft our way there. So we appreciate you coming on this podcast ride with us, and we appreciate your support of the main channels as well. Yeah. So thank you very much for all your support. And make sure you're liking the video, doing all the reviews and that stuff. But most importantly, take care until we see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday.
Have a good one.
It's changing it up again. I'm not good with
every
that.
time.
Not good with that. See you later.